That's a good ball for Peter Weir. Now Aberdeen with McGee making the break and Hewitt waiting in the middle. Yes!
Countdown to Kickoff is brought to you and supported as always by Saltire Energy, the global market leader in specialist drilling equipment rental. And also by Craig International, a truly global company with 10 offices strategically placed around the world. The future of your procurement is very much safe in their hands. And if you get a moment, please check out their brand new website, which is absolutely superb, and it will tell you exactly what Craig International can do for you. Guys, thank you for your continued support. It's match day. After last week's exertions in the Scottish Cup, it's back to league duty as the Dons make the relatively short trip down the road to face Dundee at Dens Park. Kick-off tomorrow is at 3 o'clock. Let's put it into context for you. So here's your league table. Aberdeen currently sitting in fourth somehow. Only a couple of points behind Dundee United, who have got a tricky game at the weekend. So something could give at the weekend. Let's just keep our eye on Hibs and Motherwell as well, who are rapidly catching up with us, particularly Hibs, who are on a really decent run of form at the moment. But it's all about us, and we have to get back to winning ways, particularly in the league. Let's build on last week's win in the Scottish Cup. Hi everybody, a very warm welcome to Ali Beg ABTV this Friday night. How are you all doing? This is the preview show ahead of our game against Dundee tomorrow at Dens Park. So this is your opportunity to come on and tell me how your week has been. What do you think of the comings and goings at Pittodrie in the past few days? Obviously, Slobodan has gone back to Serbia on loan, which I think, when you put everything into comparison, is most definitely the best thing to do. I've said all along that I think there's a player in there, but I always felt he needed somebody with experience alongside him to guide him through games, to keep him calm, to keep him composed. It's been well documented now online that, Ruby had some personal issues, lost a friend, a very close friend, in the days leading up to the game against St Mirren, which obviously affected him. So I wish the boy nothing but the best of luck, going back home, being with his family, being with what he knows, which I hope will do him the world of good. And I hope he comes back to us an improved player. That's what I really hope for, because I seriously think there's a player in there. So the very best of luck to Slobodan as he makes his loan move back to his home country. Great to see Esther, Ante and Jack Milne all back in training this week. Ude has also had a really good week training. So what I've done is I've predicted the team lineup. Now this is the team that I want to play tomorrow. Oh God, I'm setting myself up here for a fall. The tin hat goes on. This is the team I want the gaffer to play tomorrow. So, because Dimitar is back in training and fit, I think he'll go between the sticks. Alexander at right back. Tolbers Knuster in the middle with Jack McKenzie at left back. Then I think Nielsen and Pelaversa just to patrol. In the midfield, I'm going with Ukos, Leighton and Keskinen. And then up front, I'm going to go with Pape. Now, the reason that I've gone with Pape is because I think Ude will play a part, but I think he'll only get bedded in. I don't think the gaffer will chuck him in straight from the beginning. And if I'm being brutally honest, I would rather he just gets minutes tomorrow. You can argue the toss that he can start the game and then come off later on. I get that. But I think I want Pape to start because I like how Pape's playing at the moment. I get it with him. He's so unconventional, is he? But he's a danger man. I love his energy. I think he moves around. I think he moves the defenders around an awful lot better than Kevin Nisbet. And I just think he's got more energy about him. And I think we're going to need that at Dens Park tomorrow. Because let's not forget that they're coming into the game in a mini horrific slump of form, losing goals for fun. And I think if we get an early goal tomorrow, it will really settle us down. But we have to get in about them because they'll be hurting. Tony, the Doc, will know exactly how to play against us. So they'll come at us as well to try and unsettle us. So I think the first few minutes could be a little bit gung-ho. But we need to be able to settle as quickly as we can. We have to get the monkey off our back when it comes to our league performances. No wins in 14, as we know. It's well documented. We don't need to keep banging on about it. But the incentive's there to go third tomorrow. Can you believe it? To go third. So it's there for everybody to see. So the manager gave his press conference today. And again, it's sort of the usual questions from the gathered media about how to get back to winning ways, how to build the confidence. Happy with the players that have come in. The reasons that Slobodan went back, the manager said he's gone back for personal reasons. So lots and lots for the manager to discuss. This video comes courtesy of the football club, and I thank them for allowing me to show this snippet from today's press conference.
If you go into this business, it's always going to be the expectations going to be there, and sometimes it's you are on a run and you're winning. Sometimes it's more struggling, but I think if you always keep in the long term the idea what you want to build, but then also make the work you have to do in the short term is between the games, the training weeks. The targets for you are clear. How we want to build the squad, how we want to play. So it's a mix of everything. Sometimes it's the short-term situation, but if you're building for the long term, hopefully the short-term is getting better also, and that's what I focus on. And the pressure will always be there. I think sometimes also the pressure is not a bad thing. You have to improve things. You have to look yourself in the mirror. You have to improve yourself. You have to improve the team. So I think pressure is, in one way, a good way, and also the support we feel in this club. Everybody's working here, and the supporters, they come into every game, they support us really well, and so that's a good sign also. So how you deal with it is like try to be focused on the right things.
So what about the thoughts of the opposing manager? Tony Dock said this: there's a real bounce about the place when he's talking about Dundee and the training. There's been a good standard in training, so hopefully we can take that into our performance and execute a game plan. Aberdeen will bring a good support, but we'll do all we can to get maximum points from the game. 2,900 travelling tomorrow. Our away allocation has sold out once again. Here's your match stats. So Aberdeen have won both of their league meetings with Dundee in 2024-25, but come into the game having lost 8 of our last 9 league games. Dundee have won just 2 of their past 30 league meetings with Aberdeen, which both came at Dens Park. Dundee have conceded more goals and faced a higher expected goals against total than any other side in the Premiership this season. The man in the middle is Grant Irvin. He's in charge. And checking over the game on VAR is Don Robertson. Right. I just want to quickly clear my timeline for you so that we can get everything else in, ready for the rest of the show tonight. Okay, let's get that in. There we go. And 2 more items to get in, and then I'm going to get to you guys. And then we'll spend the rest of the show with you. Last item. 1 second. 1 second. There it is. Right, guys, that's the timeline filled up. Right. Let's see what your chat's all about tonight. So Gordon Keith Ritchie first came on and said, good evening. We need to start winning, get points on the board and climbing the table. It would be easy, and today is Happy Administration Day. Come on, you Reds. Win tomorrow, and it's my birthday on Sunday. So Gordon, a very happy birthday for Sunday. Gavin Wilson says, good evening, Happy Valley Day. Looking forward to seeing Ali's team selection for Jimmy to throw a curveball and differ. I've probably got it completely wrong. I always do. Johnny Wilson says, surely Jensen starts ahead of Devlin, and I hope to see Deba at some point. Let's get this show back on the road. Guys, Duncan Wright said, it's about time we started winning games. A comfortable win with some swagger would be nice. Kaiser. The Music Cat says, I think Yumi will go with the same starting outfield lineup with Mitov back in goal. Adam Binney says, yes, a good win would be perfect. Kaiser says, 14 games without a win is more than enough. The winning run starts tomorrow. Musical Boxing, I'd be happy to settle for a scrappy 1-0 win for us. Because it's the anniversary of the old Rangers going into administration, a lot of you are having quite a lot of fun already with this. Graham Gibbs says, best wishes to Ruby. Kaiser's also settling for a 1-0 win for us. Martin Smith says, I'd start with the same team as last week. Expect to buy in for Nisbet, but we need to show appetite for the game, especially as Dundee have shipped 12 goals in 2 games. They'll be desperate not to lose. Musical Box is saying, hoping to see Dabar play some part tomorrow. Colin Gale says, I don't think Mitov will start tomorrow. The team will be the same, except Dabar might start over Nisbet. Kaiser says, the clips of Dabar I've seen, there's a lot of similarities to Majovski, maybe not quite so mobile. David Horn is on, wishing everybody a good evening, as is Simon Roy. He's asking if you're all well. Simon came back to say, was reading somewhere the first 12 games with no Duke, we won. Take him back into the team, we lose. Wondering if he was an issue in the dressing room. But we wish him all the best. You know, again, it was interesting that the manager came out and said that it was the best thing to move him on. You know, you can make of that what you will. It most definitely was. To be honest, you know, I said it at the beginning of the week that for me, it's a closed book now. It's done. It's finished. It's over. He's gone. Wish him nothing but the best. But we forget about it. We move on. Hugh Burns is on, wishing everybody a good evening. John Moore says, all that matters tomorrow is a win. Neil Sinclair is also on, as is Richard Mickey McMillan, both wishing you all a very good evening. David Gold Rally Vid says, good evening, Dandy. Safe travels to everybody who's heading to Dens Park tomorrow. Hugh Burns was at the under-18 game today. Said he really enjoyed it. A good 4-1 win for the Dons. Mark Smith says, it's a Tulane team now, and whilst Dunfermline was a good start, it's all about playing with the big boys. A win is the minimum required. You see, this is where I think personally it's going to be quite interesting now. Because the bulk of the team, could you argue 80% of the team, I'm not very good at maths, so I'm taking a pop at it, is now Yumi Tulane's team. So this is where I think from now, potentially, we're really going to start seeing the team, the formation, the tactics, and the way that he wants his Aberdeen team to play. And I got to be honest, there were snippets of it last week. Yes, there were still those moments, long ball, catching us out a couple of times. We've really got to watch that. And I think Dundee will do the same tomorrow, particularly with the boy Simon Murray up front. They'll just ping it forward, I think, at every opportunity to get the boy in behind us. So I think we're going to have to be really careful with that tomorrow. But I'm really excited to see how we're going to progress now with the bulk of Yumi's signings in. Paul Donaldson is on, saying good evening. Kirstein's on. How are we doing, Kirstein? She says, good evening, Ali and fellow dandies. Back to winning ways tomorrow, and hopefully Uday starts and gets a goal or two. El Fidelo's on. He's wishing you all a good night. Simon Roy says, wish Ruby all the best in his move. Sheep on Fire says, 4-4-2 and go with Pape and the new guy if he's match fit. John Bleasdale's on. How are we doing, John? He says, both Polvara and Gay came back from similar loan moves and hit the ground running on their returns. So there's hope yet for Ruby, though I do accept the centre-backs we've signed makes it harder for him as well. Yeah, you're quite right, John. Neil Sinclair is going for a 4-4-2 formation and a 3-1 win prediction. John came back to say, keep the same team tomorrow. There were enough positives to merit another start. I think the run ends tomorrow. The Musical Box says, I don't think Ruby became a bad player, but he had some personal things going on and he needs some home time. Spot on, mate. David Gold reiterating that point. Doug Smith says, a bit more confident given the new signings, but hope he plays 2 up front and a new striker makes the impact. It's about time we sent out a positive message. Neil Strachan is on. He says, good evening, Ali. My prediction for tomorrow is that we, Aberdeen, will beat Dundee and the score will be 3-0 to us. Shady Mo, Deba and Pape he's predicting as the goal scorers. Simon Roy says, I would let Nisbet start tomorrow with 2 up top. Bruce Struthers says, evening, Ali. Good luck to Ruby. Feeling confident for tomorrow. Please, 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 just when he says. Paul Hurd's on. Ruby is the best defensive header or headerer in our squad. Really needs a sweeper behind him. There is a player in there. Oh, interesting point from John Kylo. He's asking, does Nicky Devlin have broken ribs? I genuinely don't know. John Kylo came back to say, Pape is garbage as a centre forward. Neil Sinclair says, I like your team. Alan George says, I think your team might be correct. For once. David Gall says, if Dimmy is fit, he plays. I think that team is pretty much how I'd go. Deba will feature at some point. Jeremy Kennedy says, opposition don't know what Pape's going to do, although I think Pape doesn't know what Pape is going to do either. Martin, you're absolutely right, and I agree with you. So let me read out his comment, but again, I stuck him in anyway. Martin says, sorry, bud, but I don't see Pape as a number 9. He's better playing in between the midfield and attack, almost like a number 10. Mate, I totally agree with you, and believe it or not, I toyed with sticking him in there for Leighton Clarkson, but I just think these type of games suit Leighton. I don't know why. I just think these games suit him. Hence why I stuck him in to play Pape further forward. That was my thinking. Kaiser says, Tobers and Knuster hopefully will be a solid partnership. Graham Gibb also says, Pape's not a number 9. He lacks the discipline. More suited to a free number 10 role. Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow to see the team line up. John Bleasdale also says, Gays are much better playing off the front or the wing than as a main striker. Paul Hurt says, I think your starting lineup will be pretty much spot on, but I think you'll start with the same lineup as Sunday. Nisbet up front, Deba coming off the bench. Roddy Keenan is on, wishing everybody a good evening. A lot of you are just basically saying, look, Pape's much better suited as a number 10. I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I just think he'll play number 9 tomorrow. Roddy Keenan says, looking forward to seeing Uday. Hopefully starts and gets off to a flyer. Barry Cool is on, wishing everybody a good evening. Let's hope we can continue our winning ways. Think Ruby going on loan is a good thing for the club. I have a feeling, though, he won't play again for the Dons. It's just as well I put my tin hat on about Ruby and about Pape and my team lineup, eh? Jeez, oh. Well, I'm going to take a break because I need it. Whoa, getting grief. Right, tomorrow, I really hope you can join us for the Watchalong show. So we're going to do a full Watchalong show tomorrow here on ABTV because the game's not being shown live anywhere. So I thought we'd jump on, come on here 5 minutes before kickoff and come and watch the game with us. And come and join in the comments, come and join the community of fans that watch us. At one point, the last time out, we had over 500 of you watching live, which absolutely blew my mind. So the idea is to just basically, I'll sit here, I'll watch the game because I can, because I'm a Red TV subscriber. And then I'll just sort of just chat you through the game. And then you guys comment and we'll just react to everything that's going on. And just basically have a community of Aberdeen fans all watching the game together. Don't forget tonight, guys, please like the show if you're enjoying it so far. Thank you for your comments. Keep them coming in. And don't forget to subscribe. We're really not that far now from 4,200. So if you haven't signed up, please, please, please consider doing so. It won't cost you a penny. All you're doing is quite simply following. Alexander Wallace says, good evening, Dandies. Can feel positive vibes building again. Come on, you Reds. 3 points, please, tomorrow. Let's see the forwards in the box and scoring. Gavin Wilson says, Pappy instead of Clarkson, with Nisbet up front, with Abbey coming on second half. West Coast Dawn says, Jensen must be right back. I had him as a right back, didn't I? Yeah, with Jack at left back. Paul Hurd says, I'm feeling stupidly confident. I like that. Stupidly confident. John Kylo says, if Clarkson plays, we will lose. Him coming back kicked off our bad run. He's no use as a number 10, and we don't play with a number 8. Roddy Keenan says, the best of luck to Ruby. Musical Box says, I'd like to see Mitov back, but he agrees with Kaiser that he thinks it's too quick to bring him back. You see, I have to be honest with you, right? Can I be honest with you? And I mean this with the greatest of respect to goalkeepers, but when is it too early to chuck a goalkeeper back in? Do you get me? It's not as if they're going to be running about for 90 minutes, is it? They've just got to patrol their 18-yard box. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I can feel the pylon now coming from the goalkeeping fraternity. Roddy Keenan says, best of luck to Ruby. Al Hay is on saying he disagrees with my team selection in terms of Clarkson. He says, I think Pappy is best playing behind the striker in a more roaming position. Nisbet to start, Uday coming on. Adam Binney says, I'm feeling optimistic for tomorrow with our new signings. I feel that we could win by 2 or 3 goals. Paul Donaldson said, it was good to see the club put out a photo of Polvara, Sokla and Jack Milne back in training today. David McLennan, he's feeling optimistic. He's going for a 2-0 win. Kenny Salvin says, back to winning ways again. I'll be happy. Simon Roy says, I'd like to see Adam Leslie and Fletcher Boyd... Adam Emsley and Fletcher Boyd feature tomorrow for some time. Neil Sinclair says, I hope that Keskinen does well tomorrow and would like to see Fletcher Boyd get more time on the pitch. Robert Fowler says, Morris must play a part. He's the only one that beats the defender to the byline and sends in a cross. I think you'll see him at some point tomorrow, Robert. Yeah. Graham Gibbs says, hope our centre-backs are warned about Murray. They will never have played against a player who never, ever gives up. There will be no time to let the ball bounce or time to dwell on it. Absolutely, Graham. Spot on. He is going to be so busy tomorrow. Simon Murray, it's a good player, that boy. I like him a lot. Alex McIntosh says, you have to get the team selection right one week, Ali. So, David Gold, you make a very good point about YouTube, mate. And honestly, I've sent them a message about this. This is what he says. So he said, it's not so easy getting subscribers. It should be called followers. Over 90% of my audience don't subscribe. I have the same point. You know, at one point, I had 78% of people who watched me didn't subscribe. That number's come down a bit. It's now about 72%. Because I think the word subscriber is misleading. Because people think when you subscribe, you have to pay for something. On this platform, you don't. You're not paying unless you sign up for the membership scheme, which is also available on the platform, by the way. There's a small fee for that, but to subscribe, it doesn't cost anything. And David, I'm totally with you. I've sent YouTube a message about this, saying change it. It's misleading. couple of you making the point, Kaiser, John Kylo, that bringing Mitov back too early cost him because he went straight back out injured again. You're quite right. I'm not going to argue. The Mad Ferret says, hopefully 3 points at Dens Park tomorrow for the famous Aberdeen. It'll help me recover from the dreaded lurgy that I have. Feel better soon. Oh, dear me. Just as well, I've got the tin hat on tonight. Graham Gibbs says, you're wrong again, Ali. It's not unusual, Graham. Mitov came back too early last time and he was out injured again. You're on a roll tonight. Do you know, honestly, I can't wait for the team lineup tomorrow. I cannot wait. And I hope you all come on. And honestly, if Pappy starts as number 9 and if Dimitar starts as number 1, I'm just going to start the show with the biggest grin on my face. Gavin Wilson is asking, are we still going to see Ali show Pappy some dance moves? Asking for a stadium full of friends. I might do that for a laugh next time I'm over, which won't be that long. End of next month. Talking of which, I've set it up nicely, haven't I? Right, who's going to come along to Ardo House Hotel on Friday the 28th of March to have an evening with 2 Aberdeen legends, Willie Miller and Alex McLeish, hosted by yours truly, supporting the Beatson Cancer Charity. You can get tickets from thelongest40.com or Eventbrite. It's going to be a fantastic night. It's a question and answer session. There'll be a break in the middle. We do the auction, all that kind of stuff. There's VIP where you can come backstage and meet Alex and Willie. And I'm so looking forward to it. I've already started putting my questions together for the guys. I'm thinking out of the box. I'm trying really hard to come up with questions and stories that, haven't really been told before. So I can't wait. If it's anything to go like the Ian Jess gig that we had at Ardo House Hotel, which was phenomenal, this one could be just as good. So if you've got a spare few quid and you're at a loose end, it would be absolutely brilliant to see you. Right. That's my imaginary tin hat going back on. Paul Hurd says, I hope he throws a curveball tomorrow. Morris to start with Urkel's replacing him after the break. He's the only one whose balls into the box aren't hit and hope, always passed with purpose. Graham Gibbs says, if it's Doohan and Nisbet, we're expecting a dunce cap, Ali. Oh, Graham, brilliant. Jerry Kennedy says, looking forward to the trip to Dens tomorrow. Hopefully a decent showing from the Dandies. Kirsten says that she agrees with Kaiser. We've got a really good squad of players now and should be beating most teams. Sheep on Fire says it's a Tallinn team now, so they need to deliver. A good start against Dunfermline, but tomorrow is the real deal. Simon says, hopefully we can put a run together. Right, guys, I am going to call it a night. So, as always, at this juncture, what we do is wish the lads the very best of luck tomorrow. Just, for me, it's just about an extension of last week. Just do the simple things well. Be very mindful of the long balls over the top to Simon Murray. Be very mindful of that. Be creative in the final third. Would love to see some creativity in the final third. And let's get some balls into the box. Let's drive them into the box. Let's really put them under pressure because they'll be hurting. They're fragile. So let's just get at them tomorrow. If you are travelling, have a brilliant trip. Please have a safe trip as well. And we'll see you all tomorrow, 5 to 3 for the Watchalong show. And I cannot wait to see the starting 11. See you tomorrow. Stand free.